YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. I'm with you guys on Road to Regionals St. Louis series here, episode 2. If you guys missed the last one, it was up yesterday, and it is in the description below, so check that out because I explained the whole series there. We talk about all the stuff that's going on, why we're doing the series, how we're doing it, all that good stuff. Plus, we had 2 epic matches. You can see right there, I did go 1-1, but I think they're worth watching. We're about to jump into our second set of matches here today, so if you guys are hyped for that, show some love, man. Hit that like button down below and subscribe if you're new for more battle and VGC content and just Pokemon content in general. I did want to show before we jump into a battle here, guys, that I am working on my next team. I've got my Gabite here, which will be a Garchomp. I've got this Tapu Koko here, which I reset for. It's not perfect, but it'll work. And then I got this Finny last night that I reset for, which is actually really good. I want to try like a defensive Finny, so I'm kind of excited about that, to try like a bold, calm mindset. And then we got our Marowak here, which I'm going to be featuring pretty soon too. So I'm going to tweak this team in a few days, and I just need to catch a Celesteela, I think. And once I add that to the team, then it'll pretty much be done. But I've got those guys in the works, and then otherwise I have a couple other Pokemon I've been working on. I've got some Orangaroos here, and I've got another Drampa with Zerker instead. And these are all pretty much flawless Pokemon, as you can see. I've got, like, you know, Turkle here with no good speed for Trick Room. We've got our Roggenrola and Togedemaru, and some of these are actually already EV trained and stuff. I just haven't had a chance to finish them. But we're gonna rock with the same team as we did yesterday, and we'll probably do that for a few episodes. So let me get connected to the internet here, and we'll jump into our first match. All right, cool. So we're connecting right now to a battle, and hopefully we'll find one pretty quickly here. Now, we do have a question of the day today, guys. If you want to give me your thoughts on that, what Pokemon would you like to see most on this series? I'm obviously going to be trying out a bunch of different things. Looks like we're going to face someone from Japan here with a 1467, and hopefully we can pick up a W to start things off. So they've got a pretty intense team here with a Zerker, a Tapu Koko, a Celesteela, Garchomp, Gyarados, and Arcanine. So some pretty tough things for us, especially considering the fact that that Zerker kind of just obliterates my entire team, considering I don't have a ground type. So that's definitely a misstep on my part, but it's all good. So I think what I'm going to do here is I definitely want to get my Trick Room up. So I'm going to leave with my Porygon2. And in terms of other Pokemon that we could bring, I really feel like Drampa is going to be pretty important in this match. I think I'm just going to have to bring Drampa. And I feel like Muk could be okay because it should be able to take one hit from the Zerker. I'm really concerned about that Tapu Koko and the Zerker, guys. Without a ground type, that's really scary. Drampa I'm going to keep in the back. I don't want to leave a Drampa. I kind of like Araquanid in some regards, but I'm a little concerned about that Gyarados too. So I'm kind of debating on leading Lele here with P2 because he's got a lot of things that are still going to be faster than Lele. So I'm thinking I'm going to lead Lele with P2, and then I want to bring Muk in the back, and then I think I'm going to bring Drampa in the back. Because I really feel that Araquanid, as good as it's going to be against like Arcanine and stuff, it's not going to be able to do too much to a couple other things. And it's got too much of a weakness there. So I think that's going to be my best bet, because I don't think Hariyama is going to be too good with all those Intimidate users running around. At least with Muk, I have the poison chances, and I can knock off some items and stuff. So that should be okay. So we'll rock with that, and we'll see what they're going to bring. Obviously, my Trick Room is pretty evident here. It's going to be tough, though, because like I said, that Zerker, it could be a Scarf variant. It could be a number of different things, and the double electric types definitely scares me a little bit. So let me actually bust out a notepad here. So we got Koko, we had Garchomp, I saw Zerk, Arcanine, Gyarados, and I forgot the last one, but I'll see it in a second. So there's Garchomp and Zerker right off the bat. So that leads me to believe that he's going to just try to fire off some discharges here right off the bat. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably protect Lele, and I'm going to protect Lele and try to Trick Room and see if that'll work. And if he decides to, what do we get here? We get the special attack boost, which is really nice, which does mean we can one-shot Garchomp. So there's a part of me that wants to just go for the Ice Beam into Garchomp and one-shot it, because I know I could take a discharge, and then I could Trick Room on the following turn. So let's actually do that, because I can get rid of one big threat here. And let me just take a look at his team really quick. So the last Pokemon I forgot was Celesteela, so that's fine. So I really want to try that. I think that's a cool idea. So I'm going to protect Lele, and I'm going to Ice Beam into Garchomp. He might expect me to simply go for the Trick Room here, but we'll see what happens. So he definitely doesn't protect Garchomp. The worst scenario here is if he goes for the Ground Z move into my Porygon2, but looks like he's going to go for the Discharge here, and I am alerted that he is a Scarf Zerker, and he's going to Poison Jab into Lele. So this is a great turn for us if I can hit this Ice Beam, and if he does not carry a Focus Sash, this could be a really good turn for us, because that download boost. And we are just going to pop the knockout on the Garchomp, which is huge for us, and that's going to be very, very beneficial, actually, because now we have one thing totally out of the way, which is Garchomp, which obviously is a huge threat to Lele. And we have a plus special attack Porygon sitting in really good shape. and that'll help us out later too with our Muk. So now I really want to get my Trick Room up here for sure because of this Tapu Koko. I really want to get my Trick Room up, and I could definitely see the benefit of keeping Lele around. So I'm going to go for the Trick Room this turn, and I'm going to switch out my Lele and actually go into my Drampa here. And the reason for this is I'm hoping that Drampa is going to be able to take these electric hits a little bit better. And honestly, I feel like Lele is going to be more beneficial to not only get rid of the electric terrain, but Lele is going to be faster than the other two Pokemon that he has. And I can target them down with like a Psychic or a Psychium Z move. And it'll be a pretty effective play in the mid game here. So we're going to do that. We're going to get off our Cloud9, which isn't going to do anything. He's going to go for the Protect on top of Koko. Potentially predicting me to go after him. And he's going to just probably discharge with that Zerker again. And I'm pretty sure that thing is Scarfed, which is a pretty safe assumption. Now, the worst case scenario here, this is going to work out relatively well for us, is if I get paralyzed on our P2, but we don't, we're going to get the Trick Room off here, which is amazing. And now I actually have an opportunity, if I would like to, I can double target the Koko, knowing that he can't really do much to me. But I think I'm going to recover P2 here. I think it's more important for me to recover, and I'm actually going to go for the Hyper Voice now. I do run the risk of the Koko knocking me out, though. But you know what? Actually, I think what I'm going to do is I would like to recover with P2 because I think he's got a lot of viability right now, but that Koko is so exposed that I really want to kind of fire some hits off into it. So I'm going to go for the Ice Beam and a Koko, and I'm also going to go for the Hyper Voice here, and I think the combination of the two should be enough to knock out the Koko because we did get that special attack boost, and Drampa hits really hard. So he's actually going to forfeit the match, so we're going to pick up a nice W there. I will take that. That works for me, man. I'm not complaining about an easy win. I think we would have been able to put in some pressure there and really put some work in against that Tapu Koko. So I'll just, looks like connection was interrupted with the other trainer, but I believe that's going to count as a win for us. So let's see what it's going to say. I haven't really had an instance like that. I think they just rage quit on me, but we should be able to pick up the win there, I would imagine. So it will take some time for the result to be updated. That's fine. So we'll just grab another match here and see how that goes. And it looks like we are 2-1. We bumped over 1500 again where we started. So that's nice. So we at least made up for that. Oh wait, does that match not count? I don't know. I think it counts. We're gonna count it as a win. I think it does count. It just doesn't update right away. So here is Zero from Japan. And let's see if we can kind of emulate our luck there. So he's got a pretty interesting team. He's got the Dragonite, the Whimsicott, Milotic. Milotic obviously preys on Intimidate users, Arcanine, Kartana, and Tapu Koko. So pretty scary stuff here. I am very worried about that Kartana. That's a really scary Pokemon for me. I do think that getting up the Trick Room is pretty viable here, but I'm a little worried about that Whimsicott having Taunt. But I do want to get my Trick Room up because I think it's going to be the most beneficial. I think Araquanid could put in some work. I think Lele definitely puts in some work. What do I think about Hariyama here? I don't know if I like Hariyama in this one. I don't know if I feel it working out as well as I would like. Muk has some viability too because of his poison, being able to poison that other thing. So I think I'm gonna what do I want to do here? I definitely want to bring Lele, and Lele's faster than Dragonite too, so that could be a thing. We could like double attack that. And definitely do that. So I'm gonna actually lead Lele P2, and I'm gonna bring Muk in the back for sure. And then I'm trying to think of how I want to handle that Kartana the best because that thing is really, really scary. I think Hariyama could be good. I think Araquanid could also be pretty good. What do I need to take on the most here though? I think the fake out from Hariyama is gonna be more useful in this situation. I think that's what I have to do. Yeah, I'm gonna go Hariyama here. I'm a little unsure of how to go about this match, but we'll just kind of rock with this and see how it goes. We'll kind of see how it goes, but let's see what they're gonna lead with here. I don't want to be forced into running Trick Room on the first turn, but depends on what he's gonna bring. Because if he brings that, you know, that Kartana out here, we're gonna have to be a little bit more cautious, and I'm gonna have to get that Trick Room up to be able to handle it. So we're gonna lead P2 Lele. Again, Lele just really bops a lot of his offensive mons. He's got Whimsicott Koko. So Whimsicott, Tapu Koko. Do you have to be concerned about Tailwind here and obviously Taunt? Luckily, the Electric Surge isn't going to activate. We're going to be able to get our Surge up first. And I think what I can do is I could just go for the Psychic Z move into the Koko slot because I don't think I saw him having any Dark types. But we are going to get the special attack boost again, which is awesome. And let's just take a quick look at his team really quickly one more time. So he's got a Dragonite, he's got the Kartana, he's got Arcanine, and he's got Milotic. So I think I'm actually going to try to get my Trick Room up here. Do I want to go Trick Room yet, or do I want to just go right into that Koko? Because I could go Ice Beam into Whimsicott and Psychic Z move into into Coco and try to get some kill. I'm gonna actually, I know the Whimsicott is gonna have a sash on it though. I think getting of the Trick Room is more important, to be perfectly honest. So let's go for the Trick Room, because that'll, if he taunts me, that's fine. I'm actually gonna go for that Psychic Z move right into the Tapu Koko slot, I think, right off the bat, in case he protects. I want to get rid of that thing, because I think the Whimsicott's gonna be holding a sash anyway. So he's gonna go for the taunt, and he can't taunt me because of the priority. So that actually works out incredibly well, and I think Lele's gonna live this no problem. He shows the Life Orb on the Coco, and that works out really well. We're gonna fire off our Psychic Z move here. So the interesting part about what just happened there is because of the way Whimsicott works, it looks like Whimsicott's taunt didn't work because I have the Psychic Terrain up, which I actually didn't realize, because Psychic Terrain stops priority moves. I didn't realize that factored in with Prankster, so pretty cool stuff there. And we're gonna Shattered Psyche this Tapu Koko into oblivion. There's no way this thing is living. I probably could have just Psychicked, but I didn't know if he was gonna go for a Protect or something like that. So Coco goes down, and we are gonna get our Trick Room up, which is very, very nice. And that means our P2 is gonna outspeed everything, and that means our Lele should be able to outspeed at least the Whimsicott, but and the Kartana, which is pretty important. But if he brings in like Milotic, he's obviously gonna outspeed us, but that's okay. So here comes that Milotic, and I don't know what set this thing is, but it's to me not the hugest threat right now on the field. But Lele is limited in terms of what it can do at this point, so I really want to hit something as hard as I can. So I'm actually gonna go for the Thunderbolt into Milotic, and I'm actually gonna go for, do I think, what does more, Psychic or Thunderbolt? I don't even know. So Psychic and Psychic Terrain, let's see here. So I gotta do some quick math here. 90 gets the boost, 1.5, so it becomes 135, plus it gets another stat boost, where it's Thunder. So I think Psychic actually is stronger than Milotic. I don't know, my math is gonna be off here. So I'm just gonna Psychic Thunderbolt into Milotic and try to put some damage into that, because I know that Whimsicott is not the biggest offensive threat. So he's gonna go for the Toxic, and he can't do it again because of the Prankster. So this guy is trying so hard, and it is not working. We're gonna hit a big T-Bolt there. He's gonna fire off a Hydro Pump, and is gonna target the Lele. This may knock me out, and it is gonna knock us out. So a Protect there would have been the better play, but that's okay. We put a big hurt on that thing, and this gives me an opportunity to go right into my Muck, and I can totally scare that Whimsicott off now, and just go for a big Poison Jab. So I really want to say that Milotic is going to Protect here, but I also don't want to allow him to get up a Recover, so I'm going to just make the safe play and Poison Jab into Whimsicott and Thunderbolt into Milotic, and that's the incredible obvious play. But he's going to protect Whimsicott, trying to stall out some Trick Room, and he may protect Milotic too. He doesn't actually, so we may be able to knock it out with a T-Bolt here. It looks like based on the damage from before, this should be a knockout. And it's going to be. So P2 picks up the kill there, and we're left with just Whimsicott and something to be determined, which I'm worrying is going to be Kartana. That would be probably the biggest threat, whereas I feel like something like Arcanine would be a little bit less of a threat, and it is going to be that Arcanine. So that's fine with me. So he's going to get the Intimidate off, but that doesn't stop our Poison Jab from knocking out the Whimsicott. So I'm going to make the very safe play here and just go T-Bolt into... Actually, you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm not going to recover. I'm going to... How many turns of Trick Room do we have left? We've got 2 turns left. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to T-Bolt into Whimsicott, and I'm going to Poison Jab into Whimsicott because Muk is going to go first. So Muk, if Muk doesn't pick up the knockout on Whimsicott because it's carrying a Focus Sash, then P2 will knock it out. And if it does knock it out, then it's just going to die to... or Arcanine will take the Thunderbolt. So that's going to work out there. He's going to activate his... oh, he's got a red card? So he just straight up lived that? Are you kidding me? What is that right there? Well, it's okay. The Thunderbolt's going to come off, and we will pick up the kill against the Whimsicott. I was like, wait, what just happened? Why did he live that? And we got the poison, so he would have died anyway. So kind of a bummer, because we totally could have done that. But he's going to go for the burn up here and just sacrifice himself into our Hariyama. But we are bulk, bro. We are the bulk. So he's gonna hit the burn up there, but we still have 1 more turn of Trick Room, and it's very possible that he's going to try to pull some shenanigans here against us. So he might just go for the Protect. I'm gonna just go for T-Bolt, and I'm gonna go for a. I'm actually gonna feint into the Arcanine here because I don't really. If he protects, then at least I get a hit off. You know what I mean? So let's do that, just to ensure that we get a hit off on him. I really want this to work. Nah, I could have just close combat. Oh, and feint doesn't work in Psychic Terrain. All the plays, man. I didn't realize that it was a priority move. And we got the paralysis, man. Oh my goodness. And he's got the Fire Z move. Oh my goodness. No, that's the Electric Z move. He's got Wild Charge? Wait, so you're running Electrium Z Wild Charge after Burn Up? That's interesting. So he's gonna Gigavolt Havoc, but that's not gonna knock out Porygon2. It might knock out Hariyama, but it's definitely not knocking out Porygon2. Yeah, he'll knock out Hariyama here, but he's maybe. I mean, he doesn't have stab, but he will knock us out. Okay. But we're in an okay situation right now, despite my faint blunders and the fact that I always seem to mess up under Psychic Terrain, which we'll just pretend didn't happen. We have Muk, and Muk is at full. Muk has knockoff, and it's not even, we could just Poison Jab anyway. So T-Ball plus Poison Jab here will do a tremendous amount. I am gonna reset Trick Room though. Actually, no, there's no reason to. He's paralyzed, so I think I'm just gonna start putting on an onslaught into this thing because he can't take all these hits coming at him. There's no way. So I think we could just keep firing off attacks into him. Setting up Trick Room doesn't seem to be that advantageous. He's gonna just Wild Charge into the Muk, which you're gonna see doesn't really do a tremendous amount of damage. And he's gonna take recoil damage there, and the Thunderbolt plus Poison Jab will be enough to seal the victory for us, it looks like. So here comes our Poison Jab, and that'll do it for the Araquanid there. So pretty interesting matchup with that that Whimsicott. It looked my opponent was about as unaware as I am under Psychic Terrain. And I remember yesterday too, by the way, all the comments telling me that Misty Terrain prevents status, and that's one of the reasons why last night I caught a Finny, because I really want to use Tapu Finny now, but looks like we're gonna pick up a win there and move to a solid 3-1 so far. That's 75% win ratio, baby. We are cruising right now. I like that. I like that. So let's pick up one more though. I would like to pick up one more since the first one kind of got you know, ended quickly. So let me do a quick cut here until we get a match, then we'll jump into the next one. All right, looks like we snagged a match here against another person in Japan, and it looks like that win did count for us earlier, so I am pretty new to all this stuff. Very interesting team here. Oh my goodness, I know this team. He is rocking Trick Room with that Leafeon Torkoal strategy, which means I need to shut that thing down ASAP. So I think what I want to do here is I want to do something pretty different. I kind of feel like leading Hariyama Muk could be kind of cool because I might be able to shut down that Leafeon, and actually, you know what? I can get rid of his son with Drampa too because I have Cloud9. So we've got a few different options here. I really want to bring Muk though. So Muk is definitely coming. I'm debating on whether I want to bring Porygon2. I'm thinking that I might not need it, but do I want to bring Lele? So P2 is still valuable though. Okay, so I'm definitely bringing Muk, and I think Hariyama are going to be my leads because I know this Torkoal strategy. I want to bring Drampa for sure. And then in terms of the other Pokemon, I feel like Araquanid could be pretty cool because it'll help me against that Torkoal, and the Araquanid will also be able to put in a pretty good amount of damage to a couple other things. So let's do that. I don't feel that Porygon2, I need it, and I don't feel that Lele, I mean, Lele could definitely put in some work, but I think that's what I want to rock with. I'm going to stick with my first gut here against this person, but he's definitely bringing, he's got Chlorophyll, Chlorophyll Torkoal here. Well, Chlorophyll Leafeon with Torkoal in the sun, and he's going to try to take advantage of that eruption. So what I'll be able to do is I'm going to go for the fake out into that Torkoal to prevent the eruption right off the bat. And then I have my Muk there as well, which can Poison Jab into Leafeon. And that'll really keep that Leafeon from really doing anything to us. And I feel that we can actually probably knock it out in one hit. And then we'll just have to figure out a way to deal with that Torkoal, which might just involve me switching into Drampa to stop the weather effects. And we'll kind of go from there. That's if he leads that. He may lead something totally different. I don't know. You know what I mean? So let's see here. He's got the P2 Togedemaru. So that's interesting. He might have Discharge on his P2, and we know he's got Torkoal, and we know he's got Leafeon, and let me just see what the other two Pokemon were. Mudsdale and Lele. Okay, so I know he has Fake Out on that Togedemaru, which is pretty scary. So what I'm gonna do here is I know that the fake out's coming, but I'm gonna go for the knockoff into the Porygon2, and I'm gonna go for the fake out into the Porygon2 because that'll stop the Trick Room no matter what. No, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go for the close combat into the Togedemaru. Do I want to fake out? I feel like he's gonna fake out me, so it's just a matter of whether I feel that if he did go for the fake out against me, Let's go for the close combat and then Togedemaru. Let's try that. I'm sure one of my Pokemon are gonna get fake out, but at the very least, I either kill the Togedemaru or I get a knockoff on the Porygon2. One of the two is gonna happen, so unless he's running Sash Togedemaru. So here comes the fake out, and he's gonna target the Hariyama. So he was fearing a close combat there. Tri-Attack's gonna come into probably the Hariyama as well, which is gonna do a decent amount, and we're gonna get the knockoff here into the Porygon2 and get rid of that thing's Eviolite, which is a very, very nice advantage there, getting rid of that thing, because it looks like he actually is faster than us too. So I'm actually gonna go for the Poison Jab, I think, in a P2, and I'm just gonna go for the close combat into Togedemaru, because he doesn't know what my plan was there, and I might be able to get a close combat off into that Togedemaru, especially if he tries to target the Muck here at all, and if not, then I'll put a really big hurt onto that P2. So here comes that Zing Zap, and it's gonna probably target our Hariyama here. And if that P2 attacks us again, he is gonna get rid of our Hariyama, and it looks like that's what he's gonna do. So Hariyama is gonna go down, unfortunately, so I'm not gonna get those hits off, which is definitely a bummer, but I am gonna get him a Poison Jab off here, so that'll work out okay. And that's gonna do a good amount to the Porygon2, and we do score a Poison Touch there, which I'll take. So now I gotta figure out how to beat this little Togedemaru, because all of a sudden this thing is actually becoming a bit of a problem for me. So let's go into our Drampa here, because I don't want to just go into, obviously, I don't want to just go into our Araquanid and then have the Togedemaru like zing zap us. So we're gonna get our Cloud9, it's gonna get rid of any weather potential, and then I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go for the knockoff into Togedemaru, and I'm just gonna go for the full offensive here, and then I'm gonna go for a Shadow Ball into the Togedemaru as well. And I don't know if that's going to knock it out, but Togedemaru is a pretty frail Pokemon, generally speaking, so we should be able to put him, you know, down pretty low. And he may have an Ice Beam for our Drampa right now, which could be a bit scary, but I really got to get rid of that Togedemaru because I can't beat it with the other Pokemon on my team at this point in time. So we're going to have to get rid of that thing. Whereas that Porygon is already poisoned and no Eviolite, so it is a little bit easier to dispose of. But I don't like how those first couple turns go. So he's going to switch out P2, which is fine by me. Here comes a Mudsdale, which is probably going to be to try to threaten our Muck. And he's going to go for the Nuzzle and try to paralyze something. So he is going to paralyze our Drampa, and hopefully we could still get this Shadow Ball off here, because we really, really could benefit from that. I need to get this Shadow Ball off here. But the knockoff is going to come off into the Togedemaru. That's going to do a tremendous amount of damage. It knocks him all the way down to his little Focus Sash here. And hopefully we can not get paralyzed. If we don't, we get the Shadow Ball off into the Togedemaru, which is wonderful. And we are going to pick up the knockout there and bring him to a Mudsdale Porygon 2 situation, which is kind of tough because that Mudsdale could have the Tectonic Rage and go after our Muck here. So I'm debating on what I should handle that with. I do have the Energy Ball on my Drampa, so I could fire off one of those. But here comes his Lele, and I'm really worried that he's going to double attack my Muck right now, which I do not want to have happen. This is a very tough play for me to make, because if he double attacks Muck or simply just goes for the Tectonic Rage against Muck, I'm in a lot of trouble. So I almost feel that I have to go into Araquanid here, which is kind of risky, but I think I'm going to make that play. So I'm going to go into Araquanid because I feel like Muck is going to be the way I beat Lele, and I don't want to get hit with a Tectonic Rage at all. And then I think I'm going to go for the Shadow Ball into Lele. Is that what I want to do? This is tough without Trick Room. I could Energy Ball into Mudsdale. Let's Energy Ball into Mudsdale. He could target me with the Lele. He could very well target me with the Lele into my Drampa and go for a Moonblast. But I'm gonna try this. We're gonna go into Araquanid here, and I have a feeling that Tectonic Rage is coming my way. I'm not sure though. He's gonna protect Lele, so that works out really well for us. If he targets the Araquanid with the ground move, that's gonna be amazing. Here's the high horsepower, and that is gonna go into our Araquanid. We're gonna predict that amazingly very well, and we do not get paralyzed. We're gonna hit off an Energy Ball into the Mudsdale and do a solid chunk of damage. Very nice. Is gonna activate his stamina there, but that's okay with us. And Mudsdale, I think, is slower than Araquanid in the Trick Room, so I have a couple options here. What I'm actually going to do, though, is I'm going to go for the Hydro Vortex into the Lele, I think. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go Hydro Vortex into Lele, and then Energy Ball into Mudsdale, and kind of just try that same play again. Because if he doesn't knock out Drampa, then I get rid of his Mudsdale. He's going to switch in the Porygon2, so this actually could work out as long as that Lele does not knock out my Araquanid here, which it very well could. but I'm hoping that he actually targets my Drampa slot. So he's gonna Moonblast, and he's gonna go into our Drampa, so that is gonna knock us out. But we should be able to knock out his Lele with a very, very big Hydro Vortex here. And that is gonna be awesome. So we're gonna activate that Hydro Vortex Araquanid. I love Araquanid, guys. I don't wanna say I was the first by any means, but I was one of the first people on the internet to get a shiny Dewpider when the game first came out. I got it like the day before it was released on when I was playing, and I was so hyped about it, dude. I love this thing. So don't be surprised if I try to breed one of these guys up as a shiny version. And I do want to bring shinies to this series, by the way, and any shinies I do bring to this series are going to be 100% legit, which is really nice too. So I'm working on the Oranguru. We're getting there. But so here comes this Porygon2, and now he's got a Mudsdale, and we're not actually in the worst situation right now. The key is, like, I don't want to allow that Mudsdale to I gotta make this play proper here. I can't mess up this play because I can't allow that Mudsdale to hit my Muck, but I also don't want to attack the Mudsdale, have him protect, and then I protect my Muck, and then Muck goes down the next turn. So this is kind of a tough play for me. I think I need to Liquidation into the Mudsdale regardless of what we do here. And then I think what I'm gonna do is I think protecting with Muck is my best play because that keeps me from the Mudsdale hitting me. But the problem with that is if he goes and Thunderbolts into Araquanid, then I could lose my Araquanid too. So we have a couple issues there, and I haven't seen a move on that Mudsdale, so I'm a little concerned. I could go for the knockoff into the Mudsdale as well, and we have the risk, or we run the chance of getting a poison off on him, which could be useful. Or I could simply attack the P2. This is a tough play. This is the play that's going to determine the match here. So I'm going to go for the knockoff into the... No, I'm going to Poison Jab into Porygon2. Did I get it? I think I got it in time, but I ran out of time there. So I don't know what's going to end up happening. I think I got it in time. He's going to recover P2, not surprising. And I just need to knock out the Mudsdale right now. That's going to be the most important thing. Mudsdale's going to go for the Rock Slide, actually. And if he flinches us on the Araquanid, we could lose this match. Come on, Araquanid. I need you to hit this Liquidation, please, please, please. I should have knocked off into the Mudsdale. Oh, we hit the Liquidation. We did not get flinched. That's huge. So I think we're going to pick up this win, guys. Whew. That was a tough one, man. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. That Porygon2 is still a threat, but it's poison and he can't attack both of us. So, basically what I need to do. Oh, does he still have another Pokemon? Did I forget about something? No, I killed the Lele and I killed the Togedemaru. I killed everything. Okay, we're good. I was like, wait a minute. I'm so confused. All right, so we're gonna Liquidation into P2 and we're going to Poison Jab into P2, and he has to recover to survive, and if he attacks one of us, then we're good, and he's gonna forfeit. So we are gonna pick up the 4-1. So that was a good episode, guys. We won 3 matches today, and I will take that, man. I will take some winning days, man. This is better than yesterday. We're 4-1, feeling pretty good. We're gonna make some tweaks to the team. I'll probably do one more episode with this team, maybe not. I might be able to finish the tweaks I wanna make before the next episode. There'll be some pretty drastic tweaks, but we got to kind of feature everything now. You've seen in the last 2 episodes, pretty much the whole team. So that was pretty cool. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Road to Regionals. As always, let me know your thoughts on the question of the day. What Pokemon would you like to see most in this series? If you have any tips or anything like that, obviously I'm still making pretty rookie mistakes. I messed up with the, dealing with the Psychic Terrain. I need to remember a mental note to myself every turn when I pick a move. What terrain is on the field and what does that terrain do before I pick my move? I think once I add that to my mental checklist of priority, like, okay, what do they have in the back? What could they do? What could they switch into? What move did they go for last turn? What's on the field? What terrain is on the field? Then I think I'm gonna fix that mistake, you know what I mean? But I'm just not familiar enough with it, and I gotta be honest, that 45-second timer is not a lot of time. I'm used to the GBA timer where you have 90 seconds, so I'm gonna really need to start making my moves a little bit quicker and really start to think about my moves before, like the turn before, you know what I mean? So we'll get there though, we'll get there. I'm confident about it. I'm feeling good. Good day today. We picked up 3 wins. So that was a pretty good episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's gonna be it for me, guys. My name is Dan. Also about aDrive, and I'm gonna catch you guys later. Peace.